Hey everyone, happy Monday. Where did the weekend go? It has been I think the weekend for me went by so quickly, like quicker than usual. As you can see, I'm pretty casual today. It's been a crazy, crazy day for me. Busy, lots of running around, but we are still in for a very, very great treat. I have Emel Mosley, and we are going to talk about mindset and how mindset matters and how it impacts your entire life. It impacts your fitness. It impacts just every aspect of your life. If your mind is not right, you are not going to be able to, be right in your daily life. So as we wait on Emel to join, I am going to fix a fizz really quick. So her business is I Am Enough Fitness, which I absolutely love that name. So I'm going to send her to join. I hope your March has started off great. I know mine has been great. It's been busy, but that's a good thing. So yeah, I hope. Hey, okay, I'm gonna get her on here. 1 second, y'all. Okay, give her a second to join. But yes, just to kind of tell you a little bit about Emel. She is the CEO and founder of I Am Enough Fitness. Hey!
Hi,
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. And tell me, is it Emel?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm saying your name right. Okay, I wanted to make sure. But yeah, I was just giving your intro. So she's the CEO and founder of I'm Enough Fitness, which helps women live fit, confident, and happy lifestyles. She's been in the fitness industry for 7 years and believes that the key to reaching fitness goals is to learning to love yourself in your own skin, which I love. And her goal is to help women and young girls all over the world understand their true value so they can live happy and healthy. That is so amazing. So thank you for all that you are doing in your community and lives that you are touching. I'm sure it's great. So that's awesome. But I also want to give a quick disclaimer. I like to always say, we're not doctors. We're not diagnosing. We're only giving suggestions based on our personal experience and education. So take it at your own risk. But please consult with your doctor if you're going to be, performing some type of new exercise regimen or way of eating or whatever. Consult with your personal physician before making those changes because we are not liable, if something goes south. But yes, I just wanted to throw that out there. But yes, first, Emel, why don't you tell those that are watching live and that will watch the replay more about yourself?
Okay. Well, thank you for that intro. Thanks for having me. And it's International Women's Day, so I'm honored to be on
Yes, it is.
talk on that day. So shout out to all the badass women out there. And shout out to whoever is on the live. I see we have a couple of people that I know on here. Shaniqua, Janelle, I think my girl Banks. So shout out to everybody who's on the live. Shout out to you if you're watching the replay. But yes, my name is Emel. Like she said, I am a fitness trainer and confidence creator. And I help women all over the world right now, currently virtually when the weather breaks, maybe some in-person stuff. But for the most part, I'm helping women with a virtual training program that I have created to, it's workouts every single day, but the program and everything that I stand for is really more than just a workout and fitness, because if you don't feel good, right, if you're not in the mood, if you have things going on, if you're in your life, if you're not happy, if you're, X, Y, and Z, you got kids, you got a whole life going on, your workout doesn't happen anyway, right? So I'm all about helping women, navigate through the space of life, of being a woman. I only help, women so that, I also have a platform and a community for women so that we can all come together, because I don't know everything. And, I'm not the only my experiences might be helpful, but other women's experiences, could help each other. So I really work that's probably my proudest thing, is that, I have created a safe space for women to come together and meet each other and link up and share, versus just me having individual relationships. We can get so much more accomplished if we're all together. So that's what I do. And that's what I'm about. I'm from New York originally. Shout out to New York.
Yeah.
I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, right now.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, my husband's from up east,
Oh yeah.
East Coast, from Jersey. Yeah,
Oh,
so we
Jersey.
always have to hit up the city. I'm not from that area, so I'm fascinated by it. But it's
Yeah.
always a fun time. Always some cool fitness things to do. I like to try different stuff. But I'm going to hit you up next time I'm in town. Get a training session in. Yeah. So, what's your story, and why would you go into personal training, especially being from New York? I know there's like thousands and thousands of trainers.
Right.
What made you get into it? What's your story?
Um, so I would say that growing up, my mom is a dancer, African dance. She studied at NYU, and so soon as when I was born, it was like dancing out of the womb type of thing. She took me everywhere, so as soon as I could walk, I was doing the dance classes with her. So that was my first, like activity, I guess, was being an African dance. And she put me in dance school when I was like 3 years old to do, tap, jazz, ballet, the whole dance thing. I played sports, when I was like 5. I did t-ball, so I've always been into dance. I've always been into sports. In school, I was like friends with everybody type of thing, had a really outgoing personality. And my parents, I come from a two-parent home. I do have a couple of siblings, but I would say that my childhood and my upbringing was very non-traumatic. I don't have, trauma really from being a child or fighting or divorce or like anything like that. And so, I was kind of like happy, and I just kind of was like, well, everybody should just be happy. Like, why wouldn't you be happy? It's just be happy. But obviously, everybody's life is not that way. So when I graduated high school, I went to college, did the whole thing, got my bachelor's degree in the medical field, actually, medical imaging, doing X-ray and ultrasound. So I did that for 10 years, but after I got my first degree, I had worked for a couple of years, and then I went back to get my bachelor's in imaging, and that's when I couldn't find a job, in my field, which I'm sure somebody probably on here can relate to. If you can relate to not being able to find a job after you just spent all this money on a degree, go ahead, put some hearts up on that screen, because I know I'm not fun. But yeah, that was like the first rejection that I went through. That was the first time I had, not got accepted to something, or, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? Not that I was cocky, but it was just, that was my first hit. Like, I got a bachelor's degree though. Like, why can't I get a job? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And so I know that now looking back, right? But at the so at the time, that kind of took a real hit on my confidence. And I went back to X-ray. So I was still in the medical field. I got a job. I traveled and stuff. But after 10 years, it was just kind of like, like I loved helping people. So that was my way of helping people for the first 10 years. And I was just like, but I always was into fitness. I was always into working out. I was definitely kind of like on and off, eat kind of like whatever, but as you get older, it doesn't work, right? So yeah. I just wanted something different than being in the medical field. I wanted to help people a different kind of way. Being in the hospital just really was not working for me. I saw a lot of things, and I was like, I can't do this, And so I was like, well, maybe I have a dance background. So the first way that I got into fitness was actually to start teaching a dance fitness class. So I got certified in that, and that was like my in into the industry. And I love dance, and I was able to like incorporate weights and dance, and I was like, this is like the best thing in the world. So that was how I got started. And then I decided I really want to leave the medical field. So how can I do that? And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to become a personal trainer, because I think I can actually make some money training clients, and it'll just kind of, put me in. I really like lifting weights, and I really liked how that made me feel, like just like strong and like a beast, and I just feel like, so I want to do, like, I'm really good with body mechanics. Sometimes you don't really know what you're good at until you start to do it and experience it. So once I experienced it, and people were like, you have good form. And I'm like, no, I don't, I'm just doing what you're doing. They're like, no, you don't, you're really good at this. And I'm really into science. I already had that medical background. So I know my anatomy, I know my physiology. I was already really interested in the body. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to do this personal training thing. And, that was it. That's here I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. So I have to ask you, because I'm a Zumba instructor.
Yes.
Which dance did you do? Which dance fitness?
It's actually called DXF, and it was actually created by my dance instructor from when I was on a dance team as a kid. So he created his own his own dance fitness. So it basically, it was kind of Zumba-ish, you know, with a follow along type of thing. It wasn't necessarily like choreography, you know, dance class. It was cardio based, but he incorporated kickboxing and some strength training, which that really was like a switch up. It wasn't just like the dance. So yeah, it's called Dance Cross Fitness, and the guy is located in New York. So that's what I had did first.
That is really cool. Yeah. Yeah, because Zumba, I think, is definitely more cardio based, but I feel like it depends on what instructor you take. So like for me, I'm more high intensity, and I do incorporate a lot of toning because I want you to get a full body workout, not just like dance around and not sweat. But you know, they should incorporate that. But that is really cool to look that up. That's awesome. So why did you choose the name I Am Enough Fitness for like your brand and, you know, your business?
These are good stuff.
Yes.
So a lot of my ladies are on here. Shout out to the big queens that are chiming in. But yes, I'm Enough Fitness. So let's see. So yes, I worked, and then like I said, I became a dance fitness instructor. After I became a dance fitness instructor, I moved halfway across the country for love, for a relationship. And I didn't get married or anything. But during, you know, after that relationship was over, like it just put me in a really low place, right? It just wasn't a healthy relationship. And after that relationship was over, it wasn't just that relationship that did it, but it was just like, that was the point in my life. Some people had like lose a job, you know, some people have a death, and like that's just the one thing that really just puts you in a certain place. So that was just like the breaking point for me, where I was just like, I'm really disappointed with myself. And I used to be really hard on myself. And anybody is out there who is super hard on yourself for making mistakes, I just want to throw this in there. Please don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace. Of course you can be better, but when you sit in that space of guilt and shame and embarrassment, and you just feel like a failure, you really can't move forward. So that was all the things that I was experiencing after that breakup. You know, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment. I just moved across the country. You know, why can't I get this right? Why can't I get that right? Like, I'm a good person. I just couldn't figure it out. And so I took the time to just be single, to date myself, to learn to love myself. And that was when I made, well, first couple months, I just ate a whole bunch of food. I ordered Domino's. I grew up in a small town, and I didn't really know there was a such thing for real as like food delivery, like to your door. But I went through that breakup. I was like, wait, they'll bring the food right here? I was like, oh, like Domino's was my best friend. That flatbread, thin crust, man, it was ridiculous. I ate so much Domino's. I ate Chinese food, and I just ate out all the time, and I didn't take care of myself or whatever. So during that time, I was like, okay, I am fed up. Like, I'm done with feeling sluggish and not loving myself. And I just made a commitment that I was going to love myself. And so I started to work on my fitness. I started to work on my mental health. I kind of worked on all these different things. And during that time, I Am Enough just really resonated with me. And I was like, that's my problem. Like, I don't know that I'm enough. Like, you know, because, you know, and you just go through so many things that kind of just beat you up, and you just feel, you know, like, I'm not good enough. That's why I can't be successful. That's why I can't get it right, because something's wrong with me. And I realized, no, girl, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you are bomb. You are amazing. You're smart. You know, maybe you have been with the wrong people in relationships. Maybe you haven't found your calling. Maybe you're not operating in the right space. Maybe you're, you know, X, Y, and Z. So that whole I'm enough statement was like, okay, I am enough, and I'm going to get it right, you know. And that's when I went to Miami with my friends, and a funny story. It was for my friends. It was one of my friend's birthday. And we were like, oh, like, we're going to go to Miami and we're going to all get tattoos. So start figuring out what you want for your tattoo. And I was like looking up I'm Enough and all these cute little things. And I was like, okay, I got my tattoo ready. Everybody had their idea. We went to the tattoo place. Do you know, nobody got a tattoo except for me. They made me go first. They made me go first. And then everybody was like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's hot. We've been at the beach all day. I was like, I am for real. But here's my tattoo. It says I am enough. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but it's just, those words just really resonated with me. And then when it was time to come up with a business, I was just like, I want to do fitness. I want to do health. What should I call it? And it was like, I Am Enough Fitness.
That's awesome. That is amazing, because I mean, people have to truly grasp the whole just the concept that you have to love yourself where you are, because I can't stress it enough. Like, you can, there's YouTubers that I've watched in the past that literally like look perfect, as if, you know, we all have our thing in our head of what perfect looks like.
Right.
Where they look perfect, like you have no flaws, literally, which I know you do, because no one's perfect, literally, but are complaining about this about their body and this about their body, and they don't like this and that. And you'll never be satisfied if you don't love yourself where you are. 5 pounds heavier, 20, 50, 100 pounds heavier, wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you have the acne or whatever your quote unquote problem is. You have to accept yourself and love yourself there. Because if you don't, when you get to your goal of whatever that is, you won't be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied. There'll always be something else, and you'll nitpick at yourself forever. And that's not a good thing. I mean, because there's enough out here in this world to make us lose our confidence or self-esteem or have different problems that we can take on that we don't need to. We don't need to add to that stress by being hard on ourselves. You know? So I love that. It gets me pumped up, obviously. So what would you say the ultimate mission is behind everything that you're doing? And how do you explain this concept to people that, I mean, obviously the phrase "I am enough," it should make sense, obviously, but how do you really explain that to people who are having a hard time truly understanding?
So great question. So I would say the general mission for me, myself, my brand, my business, everything, every direction that I'm going, is to really just help women understand that you have to really work on your confidence. And because and that was, you know, key for me. And that's why I go as the confidence creator, because during that time period, like I was saying, where I made a commitment to loving myself and working on myself, you know, looking myself in the mirror, it was, okay, I don't have, let's say, you know, I was one of those people who say yes all the time. Can you give me a ride? Yeah, sure. Can you this? Can you that? Yes, 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 yes. No, did it ever come out of my mouth. Even when I wanted to say no, I didn't set boundaries, right? So to be a yes girl, it was like, okay, well, why do I do that type of thing? You know, it's like, well, it's because I'm not really confident enough to say no, right? Or let's say somebody was challenging me, maybe in a relationship. Somebody was like, oh, you did this or you did that, or, you know, you did this, and I would be like, am I really wrong? Like, okay, maybe I am really wrong. Like, maybe it really was me, but it was because I didn't have the confidence behind, you know, what I was trying to, you know, stand up for. It was just like there was no confidence behind really what I believed in or what I stood for, or, you know, like who I am as a person, you know. And that's what I realized, like, oh, it's the confidence, you know. So I want women to have that kind of confidence, because I feel like people can kind of manipulate you, right, and make you feel just so little, and make you feel that your point is just invalid, or, you know, your reason for something just is just no. And it's like, you have to have that confidence to be like, I hear you, but no, that's you. I'm sorry. Like, you know, or what you're asking for, like asking for respect. Like, you shouldn't feel little, like, oh, I can't ask for respect. Like, no, you better respect me, or you could go. Like, friends, family, anybody. Like, this is non-negotiable. I'm not negotiating respect. That is, come on. We're not negotiating respect. We're just not going to do it. But I used to negotiate being respected. So the confidence, I want women to walk with that confidence, to talk with that confidence, and to be graceful about it, not be a bitch, like, oh, no, shut up. Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to learn to be, like, you know, graceful, but stern, and like affirmative about, you know, and assertive about the, you know, how you're going to treat me. And one of my clients' daughters recognized my face. Hey, Melise. You know, so I just want to help women gain that confidence, and, you know, and understand that that's, to me, my philosophy is that that's the key to kind of building the relationships that you want, to getting fit, to being healthy, is to have that confidence, you know, to walk in. I hope I answered the question. That, you know, that's my mission, is really to help women get to that place. You might have asked me a part 2 to the question, which I kind of forgot.
About how you explain it, but I think that you explained it, because there's a lot more than just the, I don't know, just the self-confidence or confidence in your body and who you are as a woman and all that, because that overflows into other areas of your life. Like you were saying, not saying yes to everything. And that's part of maturity, is knowing when you need to pull back or when you don't need to do something. And if you, a lot of times, you know, like your gut, like people will say your gut or the Holy Spirit, whatever you, however you want to put it, will tell you not to do something or not to go somewhere. Not, I had a thing recently that I didn't want to go to, and I didn't go, and I knew I didn't need to go, and it was confirmed afterwards that I didn't need to go, and I'm glad I didn't go, you know.
That is a win.
Like, it's okay to say no. If that's for you, for your mental health, for your sanity, just for you. You have to be okay with that. And if people can't accept it, then bye. You know, it's just, you know, that's part of maturity is
it's definitely an overall one thing I want to say is that I'm enough to most people. It's like maybe a mantra, or it's a declaration. Like, I'm saying that I am enough. But for me, it's not just a declaration. It's not just a statement. It's literally a lifestyle. Yeah. Like all of the examples that I gave, and your example of not wanting to go somewhere and not going, that's I am enough. That's a lifestyle, right? How you eat, I'm enough to eat this healthy thing instead of eating this bad thing. I'm enough to take care of my body, to work out. I'm enough to say no, you know, to things that don't serve me well. I am enough to set boundaries. Like, it's an entire way that you live. It's not just I'm enough. It's a statement. It's a lifestyle.
Yes. That's what I said. It's a whole lifestyle. That's right. So when did you determine like the mind body connection goes beyond just the physical? So like you talked about, you know, the breakup, I guess, right? The breakup, and how you kind of went through that almost like a mourning period, really, because you're mourning that relationship. It's over, and kind of accepting that and moving on. But yeah, when did it click for you?
Yeah, it clicked definitely during that period of me learning myself and loving myself and looking myself in the mirror and trying to figure out what I could do better, how I could really be happy with relationship, not relationship. Just how could I be, you know, okay with my mistakes? How can I be okay with, you know, what I was considering shortcomings of not getting that job, of, you know, not being able to maintain my health and wellness, or, you know, whatever the case may be. How could I really you know, just get to that place of happiness? Like, how can I be happy with who I am, what I am, where I'm at, and enjoy the process? So during that time is where I realized, like, oh girl, this is not just, you know, because I did, like I said, I was eating Domino's and drinking wine. I was watching Scandal. I had popcorn and wine for dinner, like Olivia Pope, like she was my BFF. Like, I did all that, and that wasn't, you know, loving myself. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start working out again, clearly, because I love working out. But it wasn't just the workout, it was all these other things. Like, I literally sat down with a pen and a paper. I had a really great role model, and somebody who I consider a sister at the time, who said, sit down and let's get a pen and paper and let's work out these things, like stuff like that. That's when, like, it all came together. Like, oh, this isn't just about physical, because I've worked out before, but I'm still here in this place. I've worked out my whole life. How am I in this slump? If it was just physical, I'd be fine, but it's not physical. And so during that time is when I went out to, like I said, I dated myself. I went bungee jumping. I would get in the car and go travel and get a hotel here all by myself. You know, I did the work. I wrote down all these type of things. I dug deep. I went to women's conferences. I listened to podcasts. I read books. Like, once all that was incorporated with the fitness, I was like, this is magic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. I need people to get that. I need women to get that and understand it's not just the physical, because you will watch Olivia Pope, you will order Domino's and drink wine. You're not working out. You're not taking care of your body, because all of the other stuff, you're acting like it just doesn't matter, when it is actually the key. It's actually the key.
Right. Because like you said, with the fitness stuff, people get so, especially if somebody that wants to lose weight or whatever needs to, they focus so much on that. But when you work out, like, you release endorphins in your body that help you to not be stressed and help you feel happy and more upbeat and give you energy. And, you know, it's helping your, depending on what you're doing, it can help your digestive system or your respiratory, your heart, and all of that. So it's not just about like the physical, but it makes your body stronger. And that's what you want, especially as we get older. We need our bones to be strong, because we can't be falling and breaking everything. You know? So you need that strong, stable core and those strong arms to be able to lift things and whatever. But there's more than just like weight loss or whatever. Like when I get to this point, I've reached my peak, and that's where I want to be. It's more than that. So I love that. So what impact did that have on your life for you to basically incorporate mindset and focus on importance of positive affirmations? Like, how would you explain that? If I even said that correctly.
The main effect that it had on my life is that it enabled me to be consistent. It enabled me to maintain a certain level of fitness. Now, of course, like I'm human, right? So you might do something super hard for a certain amount of time, and then maybe you move, right? Or maybe you're in school, so you go to the gym at school, and then the semester's over. Or you have a friend and they move away, so you don't work out together. So like things happen, you know, you do have deaths in the family, and your kids get sick, and you might not be so consistent. But overall, in general, I'd say that I've been able to maintain a certain level of health and wellness and fitness, you know, because of everything that I said that I incorporated. And I started a whole business, you know, because of this transformation for myself, right? I've been able to help other people now. It's great to help yourself, which you have to do first. But to be able to help other people, it provides a sense of fulfillment, a sense of purpose, that you're here on earth and you're not just wasting and taking up air, wasting space. Like that helps you feel happy. That helps you feel, you know, like, okay, I have purpose here. Because when you get down in the dumps, when you feel like a failure, when you have all these negative thoughts, you know, that's where you slip into depression, right? And that's where people start to feel worthless, and they start to feel like, do I really matter? Like, why am I even here? Like, and literally people start to tap into, you know, drugs and alcohol and whatever other vices, because they're trying to take away living in that reality of those feelings. Like, let me eliminate that pain. Let me just sleep. And that's where you get into, you know, the suicide, because it's like, why am I even here? I have no purpose. I don't help people. No one needs me. Like, no one needs me, right? No one's going to miss me. Like, that's dangerous. You know, that's very dangerous. And so, you know, it's changed my life to give me purpose, to help me keep going, to be motivated, to maintain my health and wellness, my happiness. Like, you know, it just has totally transformed my relationships with people, my friends. Like, everything has really changed.
Absolutely. And since you touched on that, like with suicide, I'll put once this video is up, the replay is up, I'll put like the suicide hotline number, because in the case that if you are watching this, or maybe somebody that watches the replay or something, and that you are having suicidal thoughts, get help. Know that you're not alone, that there are so many people that are potentially facing that, or that are facing that you don't even know, and that there is a way out of it that includes you being here, that includes life, and you living an abundant life. I don't think I've ever really shared this, but I personally dealt with suicidal thoughts. I had bad mental health, and it was in cycles. I am personally a believer, and I was totally like miraculously healed of that. But I know that there are people that struggle with that can come out of it, that you can come out of it. So just know that I care. I mean, I don't even know you personally, but I do care, because I have been there. And that there is a way out, and there are professionals and that can help you, and that you are loved. Because, you know, it might seem like I'm so alone, you know, like you said, nobody cares. Why does it even matter if I'm here? All of that. But that is a lie. That is a complete lie. And just know that there is hope. So I will put that information in this video for the replay. Totally not what I was planning on talking about.
I actually want to touch on that. Yeah, I want to touch on that, because I had been in a toxic relationship when I was younger, and I used that suicide hotline number myself, and I have it saved in my phone. And I didn't use it because I was suicidal, but I used it because the person that I was dating was suicidal at the time. So it also can be really good for you if you don't know how to help a friend or help a family member that's dealing with that, and to be in any kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or friend or your family member, to be, you know, have any type of relationship with somebody that can really take a toll on you. There's a lot of, you know, I don't know if anybody really talks about those people. What about the people who are, you know, trying to help and assist, you can really start to suffer yourself, especially if you're someone like me who's a giver and a lover, right? And you want to save everybody, but you're not a therapist. You can't save everybody, right? And that was me. So I used that number because I didn't know what to do. And I was young, and I was just like, this person that I was trying to protect, I wanted to help them, but I was trying to protect them. So I didn't tell, and we had mutual friends. We grew up together. So I didn't tell any of our other friends. I didn't tell his mother. I didn't tell anybody. I mean, God, thank God, you know, he's alive, but it was so scary for me. And I'm like, who do I call? Who do I talk to about this? Because I was embarrassed and shamed that it was just so much. So I really just wanted to say that if you are somebody who, you know, is trying to help someone else and you don't know what to do, you can also call that number. And I called it, and it really changed my perspective. It was just really helpful to have a conversation with that person, even though I wasn't suicidal. It was great. So you can also use it if maybe that's you.
Absolutely. Wow. Oh my gosh. I didn't know. I didn't know that was, so I'm glad that was brought up, because, you know, somebody might need to hear that, or maybe, you know, someone that you need to call on behalf of, just like she said, please do. Every life is important. No one is here by mistake or by chance or any of that crap. It's all intentional. So yes, definitely reach out if needed. So what advice do you have for a person that's always saying, I'll be happy when I lose that weight, or when I have those abs, or when I whatever, especially speaking to fitness?
Yes.
What advice do you have for someone?
I love that question. You will be happy when you make a choice to accept yourself and to love yourself. That's when you'll be happy. Not when you lose the pounds, not when you get snatched, not when your booty gets bigger. And don't get it twisted. I love all those things. However, if you are dependent on your booty being up here, if you're dependent on your stomach being flat, if you're because all that stuff is not necessarily going to stay that way. You're going to have a baby. You haven't had any kids. You know, stuff ain't going to go back the way it is. When you hit 30, when you hit 40, like everything is not going to be in the same place, in the same spot. It's not. So if you're depending on, you know, I'll be happy when, even if it's not physical, we're talking about fitness, you know, so physical, yes. But hey, Chanel, but if you're saying, oh, when I get the house, you know, I'll be happy. When I get the degree, then I'll be happy. Like, you can't wait for those things, because then all those things are going to dictate whether you're happy or not. You have to dig deep and say, I am happy. You have to really affirm it. I am happy. Even if you're not, that's the whole point of an affirmation. Say it.
Right.
If you say I'm happy a million times, if you go in the mirror and smile, you know, force yourself, you're probably going to be at least in a happy mood, maybe for a little while, right? And then that will maybe be a whole day, and you will just start to, you know, kind of live in this place that I'm happy, because life is short. You might not be here tomorrow. What, you can't be waiting to be snatched and then be confident. No, you're confident first. That confidence will actually have you going for a run, and then you'll end up being snatched. You know, that confidence to say, I love myself, you know, I'm happy. Well, if you love yourself and you're happy, you're going to choose maybe something healthier to eat. Then your snatched waist will come. You don't snatch the waist and then be like, woo, I'm happy, because how did you get a snatched waist? Like, no, it doesn't happen that way. You know, you gotta live in it, and you gotta live in it now, and pretend like all that stuff is already here. And that's how I like psych myself up. Like, I'm snatched today. You know what I'm saying? Like, my bank account is all the way up here today. Like, right? Because it just makes you happy. Like, you know, things are psychological. Everything is kind of psychological. So you got to just be your own hype person and live in it. And now, even if it's not true, and then you'll start to do the actions that will get you wherever you're trying to go.
Yes. All of that. That's so true. She said, claim it. That's right. You do. You have to speak it into existence, you know, speak it as if it's already here. Yes. So true. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Emel. This is such a great conversation. But before we go, a couple of things. One, I like to always ask my co-host for a fun fact. So what is your fun fact?
You know, I was thinking about, like, what is my fun fact? I don't know what my fun fact is. I already told you that I had a dance background. I don't know. I don't know. I am fun, if you haven't noticed. Okay, your girl is fun. I love having fun. My clients are fun. And I'm like, what is like a weird, quirky thing that I could share? I really don't know. Maybe I could just say my favorite food, I guess. Maybe it's not really that weird of a food, but I can eat this food every day, all day. You can put it in any kind of form you want to put it. If I was ever unable to eat or chew food, I would drink it out of a straw. I swear. I literally tell people, I tell everybody this. You know what? I should give away something. Whoever can get the answer right. If you're on this live right now and you can answer this question, I'm going to give you something. Okay, so what is my favorite food? Put it in the chat right now. What is my favorite food? Because I tell everybody this, that if it was ever one of those Who Wants to Be a Millionaire things, and like, you do the lifeline, or if it's like a trivia question and they're like, for $1 million, what's Emel's favorite food? I'm like, I tell everybody so that you don't miss that phone call. Potatoes, almost, but that's not quite right. That's not quite right. We need to be a little bit more specific. A little bit more specific. But yes, I can eat, breathe, drink. I don't care what. I tell people, even if I was like, in the hospital and feed me something, like put it in a shake and that's what I'm going to eat. Put it in my IV, like whatever it is, that's what I want. If I can't talk and tell you, this is the one thing. Y'all don't know me. Ebony, how do you not know? Y'all got like 5 seconds to see if you can answer the question before we get off the live. Let's see.
I know. Let's see who can get it.
Mac and cheese. No, girl. I don't mess with dairy. Sweet potatoes. There it is.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to guess out loud. Okay.
Sweet potatoes are, yes. Sweet potatoes. It's too late, Ebony. Jamila got it correct. So you get a prize, Jamila.
You get the prize, Jamila. Well, congrats, Jamila, on your win for her sweet potatoes. It's her favorite. Okay, so how can the viewers and people that watch the replay get in touch with you, especially if they want to do like some virtual training? I know you have that available, and obviously they don't have to be in state with you, right? They can be anywhere for that. So how can they get in touch with you, and even to buy some merch?
Yes. So yes, and I do have a little giveaway. I did say I promised my followers I would give you something if you were still here. But you can find me at IamEnoughFitness.com. It's the same as my Instagram handle. If you're watching this, I Am Enough Fitness. You can view all the information about my virtual training program, which I have. Enrollment is open right now. It's basically all inclusive. We have live workouts Monday through Friday. So it's on Zoom. It's live. I'm there watching you. We have fun. I'm able to watch your form and, obviously give you the workout so you don't have to think about what to do. We do have an accountability group. You have all the nutrition, meal plans, all that good stuff. Also included, and I do a lot of workshops and extra fun things and give you playlists. Like I'm all about, giving you everything you need. So IamEnoughFitness.com, you can find that. And the one thing that I wanted to, you can also shop. There's a shop link on that page for some merch. And so I decided, I don't know if you can really see my shirt, for my I'm Enough periods. Don't forget the T, okay? That T is like that little attitude you need. That little right. That's what that T is for, if y'all didn't know. But these red shirts are the self-love edition shirts. I have a limited supply, but I do have a couple left. So if you use the code I Am Enough, okay, all one word, all together, on the site, you can get a 25% discount. It's for 24 hours. I Am Enough. Just type it in at checkout, and you can get this self-love edition tee for an extra 25% off. All right. So yes, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. And as always, thank y'all for joining me for Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. Thank you, Emel, so much for co-hosting with me today. And I will have this replay available here and on my YouTube channel. So shameless plug. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, look me up and subscribe. But yes, thank you so much. And y'all have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.